Hello, and welcome back to episode number 5 of the Road to Regional series, where there's only 3 more weekends to go, including this Sunday as I'm filming. So, technically, really 2 weekends, and then it's here. So, it is the 26th that I am filming this, and I'll be bringing Blue Eyes Primite with me to locals because episode 4 has yet to actually come out. It hasn't dropped yet because I said in the video, I specifically held off on making it public, just so no one really knew what I was playing. I also have, of course, picked up the 3 of the branded structure decks, so I'm gonna try and learn that. I know it can be very, very complicated from what I've been told, but we'll see how things go. I'm showered. I'm ready to go. It is going on to 1:30, so I'll be leaving very, very shortly, and we'll see how locals goes with Blue Eyes Primite for the very first time, bringing it to locals. But I took this video of my cat yesterday. Enjoy seeing Oliver.
Does he? Mad. He just drew fucking super.
Alright, let's see if I can pull an OP Blue Eyes.
I need to get my own.
Nope. None from the first pack. And in the second, no, unfortunately not. Alright, let's see. Opening for a friend. If he pulls the Blue Eyes, I'm gonna punch him in the nuts. You have been warned.
Discard to negate. Discard.
So round 1 I'm paired with somebody new and I win the die roll and I opt to go first. I start with Maiden to place True Light face up on the field. Then I use True Light to set Wishes, which I activate pitching Blue Eyes, grabbing Effect Failure and Majesty, which I then get Drolled. From here I normal summon Sage, which I can't activate its effect since I'm under Droll, so I link it to Spirit and then I use its effect to attribute itself to special summon Blue Eyes from Graveyard, which triggers Maiden, bringing her back. Next I banish Spirit to special summon Magma Hunt. I activate its effect, but I learn during the end phase I cannot whilst I'm under Droll. I link Magma Hunt and Blue Eyes into spheres, set 2 and pass. My opponent draws for turn and it's here that I learn what he's on, and it's Yummy, as they start with
Marshmallow to special summon itself since he controls no monsters, which is when he links it off to bring out Snatchy, which they try to use its effect, but I use Valor on it, which they call by it, which I chain Imperm to it. Probably could have held on to that Imperm in retrospect. Next, Cookie is used in hand to special summon itself to the field, which when it hits the field, that is when I use Spheres to tribute itself to bounce Cookie back to hand. I try to use Spheres effect to get me Barrel, but it gets ashed. Next, Cookie is normal summoned. They synchro into Cupsy Yumi Way, which its effect is triggered to add 2, then discard 1. Next, Cuppy is special summoned to the board. Special summoned to the board, it uses its effect to search. Next, Lolipo gets special summoned, then he links it to another Snatchy. I chain Majesty to pop 1 on field, but it didn't matter as they eventually take down game 1. Watching this back, I think if I made Spirit it would have went down a little better, but hindsight is 2020. I also learned that they are on the Mitsu side of things, so that's fun. Game 2, I opt to go first again. I start with Sage, add Valor to hand, which I get rolled again. Next I send Maiden and place True Light face up. Next I use its effect to set Roar and activate it to special summon Blue Eyes from deck, which gets Maiden back from the graveyard. From here I link into Spirit, then I banish Sage to special summon Baldrake and link Spirit and Baldrake into Spheres and sink into Spirit Dragon and pass turn. I will go on to take down game 2, but I could have done it better as I actually did have Barrel in hand this game, and I should have held on to my Bestials for the Mitsu cards in game 2. However, going second for game 3, they had all the answers and ended up taking it down, even though we were close to time. I did get the buy for round 2, so let's jump right into round 3. Okay, so for round 3, I'm paired up against Craig, who is also on Yumi Mitsuguri. Except I didn't know that he was on the Yumi side of things until game 2, because he did not see any of his Yumi cards until towards the end of game 2. So I took this down pretty easily. Game 1, I didn't think I would be in a winning position, but having banished his Murakumo from the graveyard with one of my Bestials, and the fact that most people that are splashing Mitsuguri into other decks only play one of Murakumo is a surefire way to kind of slow them down slightly, because, well, they don't really have the best of recursion to try and get it back from being banished. So that definitely helped me win game 1. The fact that he just could not constantly be looping Murakumo to nuke my entire board. So I took it down, even though I was actually, honestly, kind of close to scooping game 1. I'm glad I held out. Game 2, I made go second, and once again, the moment Murakumo hits the graveyard, I drop a big fat Bestial on him. And eventually, he bricked, couldn't really do much. I somewhat bricked, but I think, but I still managed to pull it around eventually. So, going into the 4th and final round with a 2-1 record. Let's see how I do against my final opponent, which unfortunately I did not record because the camera was nearly dead.
So, round 4, I'm paired up against Marcel, who is on Megalith Mitsuguri. So, again, another round of Mitsuguri. But I managed to take it down once again with a 2-0 victory. I definitely think I have massively improved. So, I ended the day with a 3-1 record. We had 17 players. It was actually going to go on for another round. But by 10 o'clock, we were exhausted and we did not feel like going for another 50 minutes. So, yeah, we ended it we ended it there. And so I ended up in 4th. Now, the duel with Marcel was again very back and forth. I was holding on to my interruptions for when they were needed. And Marcel also kind of bricked as well. I kept banishing, the main one that blows up the field. That's name is escape Murakumo. I kept banishing Murakumo. So because Mitsu players only play one Murakumo, if I banish that, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to have a way to bring it back. So that kind of that alleviates that worry of that, that recursion of them bringing it back and nuking the field, forcing me to discard, otherwise it's negated, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I'm very happy with this result, especially with this deck. I definitely made some misplays for round 1 that I probably should have taken it down. But, hey-ho, we learn from these. So that is going to be it for episode 5. Now, episode 6 is just going to be like a deconstruction, like how I'm feeling with the deck after this week's locals. What if there's any changes to the deck, what am I going to make? Shit like that, because I'm not going to locals this weekend. I'm actually going to go to Comic-Con, Navin Comic-Con, which I did last year. I did the 2 in the one day. I did the Comic-Con and the locals in the one day. That shot me to all hell, so I'm not fucking doing that again. So yeah, I'll catch you all next week for episode 6, which is again just going to be a debrief. Maybe some online gameplay. I'm not 100% sure. I'll see how I'm feeling, because I'm kind of done with the cold. So there is that to contend with. But anyway, that is going to wrap this up. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next week for the debrief, as we're literally coming very close to the end for the Road to Regional. What happens next? I don't fucking know, but we'll find out. Anyway, I'll catch you all on the very next upload.